Come with me and run an air conditioning service call. Some would say I'm a novice AC tech at best, and most would say they're right. But here we are. Now, the principal complaint that they're having is the air conditioning is not keeping up. We have some level of cooling, but not enough to satisfy the thermostat. So I'm going to start with my diagnostic process. I'm going to drill 2 holes. I always go by temperatures first because I feel like temperature tells the story. Now, I'm getting about 84, 83 out of here. This number is not very accurate. You'll see why later. And on my supply, I am looking at about 68, which doesn't seem that terrible, but those numbers were actually not accurate because of where I was reading the return temperature from. Now, look at that. We got a water meter under here. The nerve of these guys to go out of their way to put the water meter under the air conditioning. Unreal. So now we got some preliminary numbers here. We're looking at a charge. In my opinion, we're pretty obviously low. Our high side is not too far off, but we got a pretty dirty condenser coil. More than likely, those numbers are elevated. Now we still have to follow procedure. This is the ABCs. With those numbers, I'm going to assume that we got a frozen coil, and I'm going to switch the unit to fan only, and I'm going to watch the drain. And just as I expected, the condensate significantly increased. For the laymen who don't understand that, we stopped the process of cooling and just ran hot air over it, and the ice started melting. Now, we have to get a confirmation, airflow, check our filter. That's the first thing. Looks nice and clean, probably because it was just changed 10 minutes before I got there. Next, we go upstairs and read an inspirational sign to get us through the day. Don't forget where you came from, but never lose sight of where you are going. God, I needed that. I couldn't help but think that quote was about the return right above it. Now, the installers of this unit did me a big favor. They just overlapped the ductwork on the coil and taped it over. I really don't understand why they make evaporator coils so complicated to get to. Put that one on the list of screws that aren't going back. And I'm going to clean this coil off since I got it open. It didn't look very dirty, but I wanted to check it, and I also wanted to see if there was any UV dye in there. You never know. Sometimes you get to steal an easy sale from someone else. But, brunt work boots. And now we're going to do what I probably would have just did in the first place if you guys weren't watching me so closely. And I'm going to charge this boy up. And I'm going to put a dye stick in, but I put it in later. I go back out and put it through a second hose because I don't like to run it through my gauges. And since we have a fixed orifice, I'm going to calculate my own superheat using the wet bulb times 3, 216, minus 80, minus the dry bulb, 90, 46, divided by 2, 23. That's my target superheat. So we got that tuned up. Can't pay too much attention to my high side because of reasons I stated earlier. And we're going to go back and check our temperatures. Now, what I realized when I was doing this was that I was going to wind up with a much larger split. Because of where I drilled my hole, I was only reading from the return upstairs, and the air coming in from my return downstairs was a little bit cooler. So instead, I had to take a true measurement, which gave me the split that I was really looking for. I got about 81 degrees, 80 degrees. We're condensing nice, and our supply side, we're going to go down to like 59. We're going to take it. We're happy with that. But, it's like I always say.